Hi guys, and welcome to part 3 of humanity's wealth being returned to them, or you might say, their inheritance. I'm going to go over this document here with you. Once again, I reviewed part of it previously, and just to re-mention some of the players involved, we're talking UN Swissindo. Swissindo holds a seat on the UN Council. Not all members of the UN, just like not all people in our government or so-called corporate government, are corrupt. However, there are a lot. Swissindo is not, from the appearance, one of those corrupt organizations, and they have the seat on the UN. That's one of the organizations that are involved. OPPT, the One People's Public Trust, they're also involved, and there are many of them, and they are international on 5 continents, working together all at the same time, trying to design a way in order to get this information out, get this this funding out to the people, you might say. NEO, the United Kingdom of God, Sky, Earth, is an organization that is involved. They are on all 5 continents as well. There are many here, some of which I am not even that familiar with, but there are many here that are involved in the attempt to get this back out. One thing that you might not know is that actually Caesar tried to get the value back to the people one time, and the Senate, which were the bankers at that time, murdered him. That's why Caesar died. That is why JFK died. Okay, so you'll see things on here that can scare you, and I'd say that I'm bringing this information to you with the best knowledge and good intention as I can, and understand that there are players that are trying to stop this from happening. Some of their organizational names are even listed here, but there are people within those organizations that are participating as well, if that makes sense to you. So heading on down the document here, hurry on down a little bit, okay. You've got Committee of 300. I don't like the ring of that one, to be quite honest with you, but the World Bank Group, these organizations have to be involved in some way in order to pull this off. We have a system in place in which, in order to distribute this kind of wealth, has to be done using some of these systems, and there are players within these organizations that are trying to help pull this off. Okay, even like you see there, Federal Reserve Bank out of New York. What that's doing is that is identifying the account number that is related to, or one of the accounts that's related to this. And again, showing here that there is a $600 stipend, I guess you'd call it, a month for children, $1,200 a month for adults, and that's in addition to the $6 million that is being said to going to be distributed to every human being on Earth. And that's just one of the 7 accounts that are out there. There are other players that really don't want this to happen, that are in control of the other accounts, one of which is the Vatican, one of which is the Red Dragon Society, which you would call it England or Britain, and I believe one of which is also the Zionist Jews of the banking system. Coming into this area here is talking about the beneficiaries and the amounts of money that is being put forth, okay, in each country around the world, in every country around the world. You can see the numbers on the right are very large, and they are so large that what's actually taking place is there's the $6 million for each person, but there is also trillions and trillions of dollars for humanitarian projects such as free energy, such as resetting our horticulture system of not using GMOs. There's trillions of dollars to take over the banking systems that is already being put in place as we speak. There are trillions of dollars that are going to be used on the media. Particularly, it is said we're starting with the alternate media to start a re-education program, and then we are going to roll into purchasing the mainstream media. Studios will be purchased for the alternate media and all the alternate media personalities that can get their head around this and make their own free will choice as to whether they decide they want to participate. As you can see, even Belize and all the other countries involved are going to get huge amounts of money. The amount of money that's coming forward would easily wipe out the United States debt completely and still supply all the money needed in order to free humanity from what has happened in the past. It is a huge amount of money for every country that is on this planet. I'll move on down. Even your countries like China, you can see their number is gigantic. This wealth exists, and it is attempting right now to be brought forth to the people. Our job, if we want to accept it, is to spread this information to the people so that they can help demand, because the strategy this time is not to go to one politician or one organization to try to bring forth the release of these funds. The strategy is to bring it to all of you, and that is what I am doing. There are others out there that are bringing this information out. I have been talking about some of the information. I wanted to get my head around this information before I actually moved ahead with coming out here and saying something that was complete bull. But I can tell you from my involvement that there are organizations, groups all around the world that have formed and that are making plans in good earnest to bring this out and to bring it forth as soon as possible. I can tell you, the louder that the public roars and says that they want this to happen and they want their inheritance and they're tired of being lied to, whatever it takes from the public to bring it forward and to demand that this money, this inheritance, be released to fix all the things in the world, like Fukushima. The money is already set, but the budget is already set in order to take care of Fukushima, because it is currently they do not want to fix it, because they would like to trim the population's life a little bit. And as we know, Agenda 21, if you're not familiar with it. And but if we shout loud enough and we bring this information forward so they cannot resist it, and they have to admit it, that this money is in fact out there. I've stated the names of the organizations: OMD, Swiss Indo, the White Dragon Society, and many groups, particularly out of the Middle East. This money is held in safes, in caves, underground in the mountains, this gold that they are attempting to bring forward and redistribute to the people. It's historical gold from thousands of years ago, guys, and they intend to bring it forward. They don't want to see what has been happening to humanity to continue to happen. And they have made attempts before, but now with the use of the internet and the level of the awakened number of people on the planet, they have made the decision to make another attempt to bring this forward. And if we pass this information and promote this information and scream loud enough, you may in fact see the day where this comes forward. I know y'all guys have a lot of questions, and I know I've probably missed something or several things in the description of what I'm trying to share with you and show you here. And I'm not going to claim to know everything. about this situation because I don't. I've just been doing a multi-month investigation, and you may have noticed I haven't had as many videos lately because, in fact, I've been working on this. And it takes up a lot of your time, you might say. Now, I could name names, but I'm not going to. I know specific people's names, but for the area of security and trust with these individuals, I'm not going to name names as to the people that I know of that are working daily. I mean daily, every day, 7 days a week, in order to try to bring this forward to you. And so I'm not going to disclose the names, but in fact, I think I've given you enough information here to make you hungry for it. You can take some of the names, a lot of the organizations that I've mentioned, and you can go and you can start doing your own research. And I'll continue to bring you information on this. This will be likely at this point, since this release, I will probably make this my main subject of engagement in trying to discern what's going on, if in fact it's going on, how can we help, how can we make it happen. One of the ways that we can make it happen is scream loudly, because the money's there. As you can see here, you have millions, trillions, quadrillions, and I don't even know the next number. The amount of money that is being brought forth even to the United States will wipe out our national debt and put all of us on a new path to be able to live in peace and not fight over hunger. I mean, who's going to rob a gas station if they've got $6 million in the bank? Who's going to rob a gas station if they have a stipend of money each month, even though they have money in the bank? Who's going to rob a convenience center? Who's going to go around shooting up people? Maybe a few, but not really. You know, I think that most of the problems in the world are based on starvation. They're based on the fact that people are hungry and they're pissed, and that tends to cause violence. You know, when people, you can imagine if we didn't have any money or any food, what people would be doing. It would get a lot worse. But let's hope that as we move forward into this new realm that is trying to be put forward, that we won't have nowhere near as much of that kind of stuff going on. And particularly, it will maybe shut down all the fake violence that they would like for us to believe out there as well, and which it will, because when you buy out the mainstream media and you buy out the corrupt governments and you shut them down, you foreclose on them, which there are many people involved in this, people I don't even know about, and even people like you, I'm sure, that are watching this video that are involved in this and excited about it. So we'll move forward. I'm going to make this document available to you. I'm going to put a link below so that you can come and see this and analyze it for yourself, because this is huge information. I hope I've done a fair job, at least, in producing and bringing this information to you. And I would always ask, as with anything, when you're looking at stuff, use logic before authority, and pray to God that we got something going here that's not a manipulation, and that in fact it is an intent, just like with JFK and Caesar and probably others, to bring this forward and to allow us to take advantage and have part of all the wealth that has been generated and stored away in the past, unable for us to get to it. But maybe now the time has changed.